Happy Easter, everyone. And yes, I am making videos and working today. And before anyone clutches their pearls in disgust and is wondering if I'm chained to my laptop, no, I am not. And this video is definitely not going to be about hustle culture and how you should be working through the holidays because that's what real entrepreneurs do. But when you are building a business, it doesn't care that it's a holiday, it still exists. It doesn't magically pause, right? And this kind of creates this weird tension. Should you be resting? Should you be fully offline? Or should you be taking advantage of the time that you have available to you on a holiday to work on your business? So let's talk about working on holidays today without the guilt trip. Hello, my beautiful entrepreneurs. My name is Tabitha, and welcome to A Hot Mess Builds an Empire. I help day one entrepreneurs take that first terrifying leap into business ownership without completely losing their minds in the process. This channel is for the people who are standing on the edge of something really scary, but also equally just as marvelous, wondering if they are absolutely unhinged for even considering the jump. So, just a reminder, check out the link to my stand store in my YouTube description because starting April 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is a Saturday, we are doing the very first mess hall. And it's a gathering for entrepreneurs to get together and just connect and swap war stories. And we're going to have themes every month and workshops. And I'm working on getting guest speakers to join us as well to help share their golden nuggets of information. So, it's just $5 to join the session, so I hope to see you there. And it's an hour long and it's just going to be really cool to connect with people from around the world, hopefully. So today we're going to be talking about working on the holidays, and I'm going to be talking about this from the perspective of someone who does have a full-time job, me, and what that allows me to do when it comes to holidays, not necessarily just Easter specifically, even though today is Easter, but um, you know, I want to talk about working on the holidays and removing that guilt aspect and maybe finding a balance that works for you, your family, and your business. Because there's this expectation with holidays, right? That you should be resting, you should be offline, you should be, committed to family time, and you shouldn't be working today. But then in reality, your business still exists, right? It still has ideas, there's still stuff brewing. And sometimes holidays are when you get the opportunity to work on your business because you have the day off from your job, or maybe you go in late or you get out early, whatever, your work situation is. And, sometimes it's nice to have extra time to work on your business and maybe knock out a few extra tasks that help move the momentum forward. Now, I want to talk about the guilt that comes with working on a holiday because it is there. And it creates tension, right? It creates tension with you. It could create tension with you and your family. It could create tension with you and your business. So let's work through the guilt that comes up when you want to knock some stuff out for your business today or on any holiday. And, it could feel like you have family expectations, especially if you're married and have children. Um, there are societal norms that you feel like you need to stick to. You're comparing yourself to other people being offline. And then there's this whole like, well, I shouldn't be doing this today, but if I'm a real entrepreneur, then I should be doing this today. And listen, there is no universal rule here. There is no right answer, but there are options. So first and foremost, if you're like me and you're just not a holiday person, like I'm just I don't get excited about holidays. They're just not for me. But I try to spend some time with my family because I know that holidays are when they have off from their job and I have off from my job usually. And our schedules kind of connect so we can see each other. So I do spend time with my family on the holidays, but there's nothing about it that I'm like, ooh, it's the holiday. You know what I mean? So And that comes with Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I'm just not excited about holidays. I don't know if that makes me weird or not, but it's just not for me to be excited about holidays. But there is this guilt aspect of like, well, if I work through Easter, then I'm going to miss time with my family today, or I am going to miss sitting around the dinners, and talking about like my grandmother, for instance, who passed away a few years ago now. And Easter was her favorite holiday, and she would always be dressed up in these amazing like pantsuits, and with her cane she'd wrap like florals around them, like she would just go to the nines for Easter and Christmas. And I just know that pictures like that are going to be brought up today, or a conversation about her being like just a crazy bat, is going to be brought up today. And I would really miss out on those conversations. So there's some guilt that sits in there if you're working today or you want to work on a holiday for your business. So, what is the correct way to spend a holiday as an entrepreneur? Like I said, there is no right answer. This is down to you, your personal preference, your personal life, prior commitments that you had. Maybe if you commit every single day, let's say you work a full time job, or maybe you're a stay at home parent and your time is just dedicated to your job or dedicated to your family, and you get time off on holidays from worrying about things, right? Maybe you should take that as a day of rest and feel not guilty about it, because we all need rest. We all need a break. We all need a moment to just, we all need that. Every single human being on this planet should really just take a minute to breathe and think of nothing but breath, right? Maybe there is a balance. Maybe you partially work. Maybe, you know what, I'm going to get up a little early today. I'm going to knock out this task, and then I'm going to spend some time with my family. And then maybe in the evening after dinner, I'm going to work on my business a little bit more. And I get 2 extra hours with my business today. And that kind of gives me a little more momentum. Or maybe if you're like me and you don't care about the holidays, or your family's far away, or maybe your spouse is going to take the kids out for an Easter egg hunt or something like that, which hopefully it's not raining by you, because it is pouring by me. But maybe you can take the opportunity today to have a full work day for your business and knock out a whole mess of stuff. Maybe you need to do some website maintenance. Maybe you want to schedule some stuff for social media. Like, it's about choice. It's not about obligation. And I think this is something that we as entrepreneurs should talk about, because there is this guilty aspect that comes with it. Now, if you do want to get some work done today, but you also want to balance being with your family, do some light tasks. Do something that if you get interrupted, it's not a big deal, right? Like, little Johnny comes running in, look at how many eggs I found in the Easter egg hunt in the backyard, right? Like, allow yourself to kind of casually do tasks, light tasks that, you know what, it's okay if it takes me 2 hours to do this casually, because I can, I don't have to be super committed to filming something or recording something or drawing or creating. I'm just doing some admin work today and it's just casually getting done. Um, Respond to comments, check analytics, post something simple, like post in Instagram stories instead of posting to your feed. Like, just talk to people like, hey, just doing a little bit today. Hope you're having a good holiday, like whatever that looks like to you. Um, Turn your content into something fun. When holidays are around, people go all out decorating for them, or maybe you can find a sale at an Airbnb somewhere that maybe you could change the aesthetic and just like batch create a bunch of stuff in a really cool setting. It just depends on your budget and what you have going on. There are a lot of creatives that work on holidays. Maybe you could meet up with them and collaborate on something and connect with people on the holidays. So you could end up documenting the day and getting some content out of it that way as well. So it's just there are a lot of options, and again, this comes down to choice. This is not an obligation that you have to work on this day or you have to rest on this day. It comes down to how do you want to have that work-life balance for yourself. So I do want to talk about that not everyone has a supportive family or group of friends for them when it comes to anything, or being an entrepreneur, mostly because people don't understand what that involves or what that entails. And if you do not have that, which I'm sorry if you do not, that really sucks. I would recommend to just be an advocate for yourself in your business because no one else is going to do that for you. You have to do that for you in your business. So if you need to carve out small pockets of time, like excuse yourself to the bathroom and, engage on some content on social media for a hot minute without people just like being all up in your face, trying to figure out, like, are you dating that girl that you said that you were going to date? Or like, are you seeing that little boy that we saw you play with when you were 5? Like you're avoiding the family questions for 15 minutes to go engage with your account on social media, right? So, just give yourself just like little things to do today. One quick post, one little check-in, just small momentum, but something that makes you feel like you got something done today and you don't have guilt that you didn't address something with your business and you don't have guilt that you are missing out on time with your family and friends. So, I do want to make it very clear that this episode is not pro work on the holidays. This message is pro no guilt if you do, because your business doesn't disappear on the holidays, it still exists, and it doesn't need to consume them either. So balance what you can where you can. And I think that's really important to know what your game plans are for the holidays. Like, hey, you know what? Like, I know that every holiday I'm going to have off of work, no matter the day of the week that it's going to be. And that is going to be time for me and my family. That's awesome. Do that. Or it could be the other direction, and I know that I'm going to have off every holiday from my full-time job. I'm going to commit to my business on those days, and my family understands. Also, awesome. So just do what's right for you. Do what's right for you and your family. Do what's right for you and your business, and don't do it with guilt. Don't build up guilt in any way, because then you start to resent things on the back end, whether it's resenting maybe how you're treating your family, or it's resenting how you're treating your business, or you start to resent yourself because maybe you feel like you made the wrong choice. Stop right there. Don't do that. Don't feel guilty about the decision that you're making for the holidays. There is no right answer. And usually, the right answer, if there is one, is not about hustle culture and working your butt off until your eyes bleed, right? Like, enjoy your holiday, enjoy your time with your family. And if you decide to mingle in little bits of work, that's fantastic. Then do what it is that works for you. And again, just one last thing, the mess hall, it starts April 25th at 1 p.m. That is a Saturday. I really hope to see you guys there. It's $5 for the session. We'll be doing monthly themes, workshops, and like I said, I'm going to try and start lining up some guest speakers. So I really hope to see you there. You can see how to sign up for it through my Stan store. The link is in the YouTube description. Make sure you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing holiday weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.